indie folk artist Ramya Pothuri.
Hi.
I feel like this is, I mean, I don't even feel like I'm going to interview you. I just feel like we're just going to catch up for about 15 minutes. We play your song and then we'll go home.
That sounds about right. I'm cool with it. We need to catch up anyway.
So I'm really excited to have you on the show because you have a new single out, and I genuinely, I was going back to when was like the last time I had interviewed you, like the first time, and you know, you've been on the show quite a few times. And so for people that don't know, you're from St. Louis, and you're also a Hyderabad gal as well. But now you've moved to LA. What are you doing in LA?
I'm an LA girl now. It's just,
when did that happen?
So it was so crazy. Like, I've been wanting, it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I want to move to LA one day. It was always kind of like a plan that I had. And I spoke about this even to people when I was in India. I was like, people be like, oh, are you going to move back? And I was like, yeah, like definitely eventually I'm going to move back, back like to America. And then, but I never really knew when or how or why or like any of that. And then when I finally was like, okay, I think it's time. I want to move to LA. I think I'm like ready. I really like, and also like, you know, the kind of music I was making, I just felt like it would do really well here. And then COVID happened literally like when I was trying to make that decision. And then I was in India for like a year and a half more. And the whole time I was like, okay, I was getting more frustrated about it, especially because I was stuck at home. And then I was in Hyderabad. Because, as you know, I lived in...
with family and like...
Yeah, I was like living with my parents. And like I lived in Bombay for so long. I was living alone. I had my own apartment, like with roommates and stuff. So I was like, what is going on? And
these are the roommates you really wanted.
Yeah, I was like my mom and dad, I guess. And I was just like, this is not it. And then finally, when things just kind of, at least in America, started getting a little better. It was still still pretty bad in India. My parents kind of almost wanted me to leave India at the time. I mean, when like the second wave was going on, it was just really bad. They were like, we really don't even want you to be here. And so I traveled to America kind of like when that was kind of ending-ish, when things were getting a little bit better in India. I went to Missouri first, and then I just visited LA. I loved it, and I moved here. It was all very, like, random.
But that's, I feel like the best things happen when they're least planned a little bit. But I'm really excited about what you were saying just now about the fact that you felt your music was ready for you to be in LA. And I think, and I'm going to give myself a pat on the back and a little bit of credit, because I've kind of seen you from your debut EP, We Never Left. That was like 2016, by the way. That was quite a few years. And that's I've seen that like you've been actually doing a lot of collaborations, you know, Karan Kanchan and Sand Dunes and Sabu and Trod and so on. And then you also have been releasing a lot of singles, you know, and like sort of keeping yourself active by like putting out like music still, because there are artists like once they release their debut, they're like, oh, I'm still working on stuff. And it's good that you're still, you know, sort of putting stuff out there. I was kind of curious because of the consistent release of singles. Do you have any plans of like putting out like a collection album, EP like that?
Yeah, you know what? It's so crazy because I've had like an EP ready for such a long time. But I just felt like, I've had like even Male Attention, the song I just put out, which you were probably going to start talking about soon, but it was like, that was meant to be part of an EP actually. I had like, it was part of like a 4-track EP that I was planning. And then I was kind of like, okay, you know, where am I in like my career right now, and is it time to put out another EP, or is it time to just put out single after single after single after single? And I really thought about it, and I got like some advice from some other friends who work in the industry, and they were like, you know, now is just the time to put out singles. I thought about it for a while, and I was okay, an album can definitely come, like an EP can definitely come whenever, but now it just feels like the time to just put out a single every 2 months. Like that's just been my whole goal.
And I think
consistently release music.
Yeah, no, but this is also something that I feel like a lot of musicians are doing nowadays. And I have to admit, from the generation that listens to albums, right? I'm so used to, you put the album on and you listen to the whole thing through. So if I hear a single of yours, the first thing I would do is go and check out your albums. But I'm still looking forward to the singles, though. I'm still gonna listen to your music, whatever form it comes out in. So
honestly, yeah, I feel like it's so. I might totally be wrong, and I should put it out as an EP. That's the thing. It's I don't even know.
You're like, I'm gonna backtrack everything I just said just now.
Like me having a crisis.
Me actually, in the middle of the interview, should I
actually? I'm like, did I make a wrong decision? It's
no.
Be right
you
back.
Go with your gut, man.
Change my whole release plan.
Your entire release plan based on one interview. Be like, May said she likes album EP. Maybe I should change.
Yeah, I'm putting out an album now. May said.
May said. Hey, so another really interesting thing that I realized, and I think this is something that we'd spoken about when we did the ladies special together, which was that you had also ventured a little bit into music production, and there's a song, I think it's Dream of Us, that you did production on, and how's that going? Do you really enjoy the process, or are you kind of like, you did it and then you're like, I think other people should do this?
I love it. No, I love it. I love it to the point where I could even see myself down the line, kind of way ahead in my career, even producing for other people, just being hired as a music producer.
That's so
cool. I just love it so much. It's something that I feel like I always wanted to do, but I just didn't really know how. I could always just hear things in my head, and I was like, okay, how do I get all this down? And then now that I've gotten much better at using things like Logic and just synths and understanding all these technical aspects of making music, it's just become so much easier. And now that I can do that process effectively, I'm just I want to produce everything myself. I'm so on that right now. Even Male Attention, I tried to produce that as much as I could. Definitely got help. My dropped out Rishi, he helped with the production. He did additional production, and Sanaya and Krishna, they also did so. I have such, feel so lucky to have such talented friends to help me out with these things.
That's so good though.
Because giving your music to a producer is also such a fun process, because it's you get a whole nother pair of ears on it, and you get all of their skill and all of their just talent, and they're gonna hear the song differently than you're gonna hear it. And I Hate When I Hurt You, I literally didn't know what to do with that song, and when I sent it to Dropped Out, he just made it into what it is. It's just, that was him, all the production, and it's I would not have been able to do that because I didn't even hear the things he heard, and that's what's so cool about working with a producer. But I think when you do have a clear vision, then it's cool to do it yourself. That's what happens with Dream of Us and even Male Attention, where I was I really had that clear vision of what I wanted, and then it's okay, and then if you also have the skill to pull it off, how to pull it off now, which I didn't before, but I've been trying to learn that now, then it's so exciting because it's cool, I can actually recreate exactly what I'm hearing in my head.
That's amazing. And congrats, by the way, for diving into doing something that's quite technical and doing the music production, because I love that stuff too. It's so fun. So
much fun.
We've been talking about Male Attention.
So is it wild that I need someone just to call me at the end of the day?
And it's a song that we're gonna feature on this episode. So I want you to tell me a little bit about what inspired this song.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was kind of dumb. But I was, it's just really the story of why I made it. It's literally embarrassing. But
I love it.
I met this guy, and then it was stupid. But I was I didn't even care that much about him or anything at the time. But I was he was oh, let's hang out on this day, and I was cool. And then the day came, and then he texted me, and he was actually, I can't. I have work or something. And I thought I didn't even like the guy, but for some reason I was how dare you? I was how could you do this to me in my head?
I understand.
I responded oh, I totally get it. I'm kind of busy too. And I responded with something and totally had other things I have to do anyway. And then I was oh, I hate him, I hate this, like. And then I realized that somewhere deep down, I was like, I guess looking forward to it. And I was like, why? Yeah. And then I realized I just wanted like temporary affection from someone, or like temporary attention. Like I didn't even care who it was.
Yeah.
Didn't even, it was just like one of those things. And then I was like so annoyed with myself for even caring or wanting that. I was like, that's so lame. Like, why would you? And then I realized that, you know, it's just a human thing. But I think it's like irritating when you feel needy, right? Like when you're in that emotional state where you just want that, but you're mad at yourself for wanting it, and you're like, you're feeling needy, but you hate that you're feeling needy, but you can't help it. It's literally that like back and forth and that I was experiencing. And so I was so annoyed that I like literally
wrote a song,
started writing the song like that night. And then I was like, wow, this song like hits. Like, thank God he ditched me. But
I got a song out of it.
I love when I get a song out of these things. Then it's like cool.
I love that. But honestly, that feeling of and it's exactly what you said. It's not even like you were particularly looking forward to it. He was the one who organized it. But then, and I think this is literally with anyone. It might not even be someone you're necessarily interested in. It could just be a friend. And then you build up this thing of like, I'm so excited, I'm going to meet them, yay. And then suddenly they're like, oh, I'm really sorry, I can't make it. And
you're just like,
yeah, that disappointment is colossal. It's not even like a tiny thing. It's like massive. It's just like, wow, I feel, and you feel genuinely rejected. And I'm like, why do I feel rejected? I'm like, you want to hang out with me.
It's, you like take it so personally. Like it's like an attack on you.
It is.
It's literally like, how could you do this to me?
How dare you? How dare you literally not do the date that you only planned to do with me in the first place?
Right. Like, do you, like, it's literally that. It was literally that. I was like,
God,
your ego's hurt. Your ego's hurt. Your self-worth. You're like, they're attacking you. They don't value you. And then you're like, wait a minute. Who is this person? Why do they even matter right now?
Oh my God.
It is a
genuinely
complex set of emotions.
It's like, I feel the pain in so many ways. And I think there are a lot of people who might feel your pain as well, because it's so, and it's especially irritating. Like, I sometimes feel like I might actually be more forgiving of friends who do something like this. I'm like, oh, I'll meet you another time. When it's like people you absolutely don't care about and they reject you, it's worse. You're like, how dare you? I'm a queen.
I literally feel like that. It's so like, I'm literally like that. I'm like, do you know? I'm just kidding. I'm not like, do you know who I am? But I'm like, that makes it sound crazy. I don't say that, but I'm just like, you would have had such a good time. Like, I'm such great company. Like, you
feel like you're selling yourself. You're like, I don't even, like, you literally feel like, I don't care if you're busy. Now you have to meet me.
Yeah. You did this. This is all your fault. Yeah. It's just, like I'm saying, it's like so embarrassing because it's like, it's so stupid. It was literally so like a dumb random date, but it's, you know, when you're in that mood, it just happens.
It just happens.
You were already in a bad mood, and then this guy ditches you, and then you're just like...
This is something that I've seen you talk about, you know, of the things... I think the somewhere that you had said that your music is everything you want to say but didn't get to. And you've talked about the fact that sometimes you have this, you know, these thoughts in your head, you know, things that you wish you could have said to a person, you know, and in some way, and again, I'm quoting you here where you said that, you know, people call you, you know, inoffensive or whatever, and you don't piss anyone off, and you always say the right thing. And then in your head, you're just like, I don't like you, or you're garbage. And so, how dare you? Can you, I mean, this is obviously such a clear example of like something you wish you could have said to him, and you're like, no, I'm super busy as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally my personality. It's so funny. Like, that's just, I like what you just said, I'm so non-confrontational.
Yeah.
Like, on the outside, I'd be like, oh, I'm fine. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, do whatever you know, I'm like, so, and then like on the inside, I'm like, but you know, I'm like, how dare you? But you know, I never will. Like, probably only with like my like family or like my really close friends will like actually be honest about what I'm feeling. But most of the time I'm so good at like just being like
poker face.
Yeah, for me there's nothing more energy consuming and scary and like than like confrontation. I'd rather do anything else. Oh my god, someone could literally punch me in the face, I think, and to avoid the confrontation I will apologize to them and run away. I don't even know, like I'm just so like I will just confront anyone.
I can be your bodyguard. Do you need one? Someone punch you, how dare you? And so like anytime, so I could be that person for you because I'm very good at confrontation. I don't love it. It's not like, but I like to be clear with people. I think clarity is very important. Like, you should know how I feel in this moment. So I'm more like that. I know that people who like also love confrontation, which is also like very messed up. But that's
my worst like nightmare.
So
like,
what
I can't with that.
What I would do is that when this guy rejected you, you'd be like, you could literally tell him, you're going to get contacted by me. And then I come in going, how dare you? Ramya is amazing. She is so much fun to hang out with. I can't believe you did that to her. Do you have any shame at all? Do you like women at all? What is wrong? Do you have any respect? Yes. I'm like, what are you doing right now? What is making you so busy right now that you have to be like, oh, I can't make it for the date? If you want, you know what? Give the work to me. I'll get it done. Now you go.
I'm going to actually do this. This is like very useful for me.
I will do the confrontation for you. So anything, even if your parents be like, Amma, Appa, I have something she'd like to tell you, but I will communicate it to you first.
They'll be like, what is going on? I actually, you don't know, I like need that in my life. It's so funny. Like someone will say something like crazy to me and I'll literally like laugh and be like, so funny. It's such a funny joke, even though they're like literally saying horrible things to me. And then I'll like go home and like rant about it for like 2 hours, but I'll never say anything.
Then a whole album comes out.
And then it's like, a year later, they like hear their name. I'm just kidding. Well, imagine if I like wrote, like actually like, said their names in these songs.
That would be, then you're just a hip hop star.
That would be crazy. No, but they'll hear like a song that's vaguely about the situation, but they wouldn't know because it's so vague, so.
I think it's called like, was it subtweeting or something? Like, it's like this thing of like, you're talking about it, but like, you're not really mentioning who it is.
Like when you like a tweet about something.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're like, it's like subtly throwing shade.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that. Yeah. It's like, I feel like that's more hard work for me. I feel like if I just tell this person, like, so that's what I'm saying. You need I should be an interventionalist. I should just like intervene whenever you need. Yeah, I should do it.
I'm sure there are other people out there like me.
Technically that's kind of what lawyers do, right? Don't they intervene when people do bad stuff?
Oh yeah, but this is for drama. This is
for drama. Like... drama interventionalist.
Yeah.
I'd be very good at
dumb stuff.
I'm very good
at for the most,
communicating the stuff. But
the useless stuff.
It'd be amazing if I got paid to just like intervene when like drama happens. Be like, hi, hey, what's up? I heard there's drama.
Literally.
I'm on Ramya's side though.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Even if I'm being dumb.
Yeah, even if you are. I'm like, no, this is absolutely normal. You are not valuing.
No, she's right.
She's right.
She's absolutely 100% right. You're wrong.
You're wrong. So one thing that I saw on an Insta post you put up, that you said that Male Attention is hands down your favorite song you've ever made. That's a lot of pressure on Male Attention. Please elaborate why you think this is your favorite song you've ever made.
So like now, honestly, like when I look back at it now and sometimes you hear the lyrics, I'm like, whoa, like Ramya from 1 year ago needs to chill. But also I still like admire that I was, because I told you it's like so rare for me to be like that.
Yeah.
So I think like I'm really glad that in the moment when I was feeling that, I captured that. But that's why it's one of my favorites, where it's like, okay, here's like a mood and like a feeling that I don't feel often that I was able to capture, and now I kind of have that, and it's really fun for me to listen back to, like especially when I was like going through the release thing. This is one of the only songs, honestly, because as you might know, like when you're releasing a song, you're gonna listen to it so many
times,
like just over and over again, especially if you've written it and then you produce it and then you have to get you get like 3 different mixes and then you have to make mix changes and then it goes through mastering. And, you know, you've heard it 1,000 times, but I've actually like during that whole process, now maybe I'm a little sick of it, but honestly, the whole process of making it, I never once got sick of it. I actually loved listening to it every time. I loved like when I was in the car with my friends and they were like, oh, let's hear the new single. I loved listening to it.
That's
usually
so
by the mastering stage, I'm sick of it. Like I'm sick of it, but
I love that moment of you're just like, I'm loving this song. Who made it? Me. Yeah.
Literally me when my friends were listening to it, I'll be like, yes. That drop though, I was just like proud of myself for it. Also, I think it's more of I think also another big reason is my favorite one is I think this is really where my music's gonna be for the next year or so. I mean next year. This kind of genre, it's like very like R&B, slight like electronic elements in there. So it's kind of like starting this era of music. Era. Yeah.
I like it.
So
well, thanks so much for having a chat with me and catching up. And I'm really excited for people to have a listen to Male Attention.
Thank you.
I won't fall for you. Talk the way you've always wanted. I've said it before. There's just no time. It doesn't seem worth it. I'd rather just focus and wait it out. But hit me up sometime, and I know I could wait for your call. It doesn't matter who you are. What is it with male attention? Seems to make me so dependent. I was just fine before. Tries to notice someone who cares as much as I do.